Hello, today we are going to learn service operation in ITIL. In Module 5 we have these topics: understanding the service operation stage and its key processes, incident management and problem management, event management and request fulfillment. The service operation stage in the ITIL service lifecycle focuses on managing the day-to-day operation of IT services. This stage is concerned with ensuring that services are delivered with the required level of quality while minimizing the risk of disruption to the business. The key processes involved in the service operation stage include 1. Incident management. This process is concerned with restoring normal service operations as quickly as possible in the event of an incident. The key steps involved in incident management include incident identification. This involves identifying an incident either through a user report or through automated monitoring tools. Incident logging. This involves logging the details of the incident, including the impact and urgency. Incident categorization and prioritization. This involves categorizing and prioritizing the incident based on the impact and urgency. Incident investigation and diagnosis. This involves investigating and diagnosing the incident to determine the underlying cause. Incident resolution and recovery. This involves resolving the incident and restoring normal service operations. 2. Problem management. This process is concerned with identifying and addressing the root cause of incidents and problems. The key steps involved in problem management include problem identification. This involves identifying a problem either through an analysis of incidents or through proactive monitoring. Problem logging. This involves logging the details of the problem, including the impact and urgency. Problem categorization and prioritization. This involves categorizing and prioritizing the problem based on the impact and urgency. Problem investigation and diagnosis. This involves investigating and diagnosing the problem to determine the underlying cause. Problem resolution. This involves addressing the root cause of the problem and implementing a permanent fix. 3. Event management. This process is concerned with monitoring events and alerts and taking action as necessary. The key steps involved in event management include event detection. This involves detecting an event either through manual monitoring or through automated monitoring tools. Event logging. This involves logging the details of the event, including the impact and urgency. Event categorization and prioritization. This involves categorizing and prioritizing the event based on the impact and urgency. Event notification. This involves notifying the relevant stakeholders of the event. 4. Access management. This process is concerned with granting authorized users access to services while preventing unauthorized access. The key steps involved in access management include access request. This involves receiving a request for access from a user. Access verification. This involves verifying the user's identity and ensuring that they are authorized to access the requested service. Access provisioning. This involves granting the user access to the requested service. Effective management of the service operation processes is critical to ensuring that services are delivered with the required level of quality while minimizing the risk of disruption to the business. By implementing these processes, organizations can ensure that incidents and problems are resolved quickly and effectively, and that access to services is properly controlled and managed. Incident management and problem management are two key processes within the service operation stage of the ITIL service lifecycle. Incident management is the process of managing and resolving incidents, which are defined as any event that causes an interruption or reduction in the quality of a service. The primary goal of incident management is to restore normal service operations as quickly as possible with minimal impact on the business. The incident management process includes steps such as Incident identification. Identifying incidents through user reports or automated monitoring. Monitoring tools, incident logging. Logging the details of the incident, including the impact and urgency, incident categorization and prioritization. Categorizing and prioritizing the incident based on the impact and urgency, incident investigation and diagnosis. Investigating and diagnosing the incident to determine the underlying cause, incident resolution and recovery, resolving the incident and restoring normal service operations. Problem management, on the other hand, is the process of identifying and addressing the root cause of incidents and problems to prevent them from recurring in the future. The primary goal of problem management is to minimize the impact of incidents on the business by addressing the underlying causes. The problem management process includes steps such as problem identification, identifying problems through an analysis of incidents or through proactive monitoring, problem logging, logging the details of the problem, including the impact and urgency, problem categorization and prioritization, categorizing and prioritizing the problem based on the impact and urgency, problem investigation and diagnosis, investigating and diagnosing the problem to determine the underlying cause, problem resolution, addressing the root cause of the problem and implementing a permanent fix. Effective incident management and problem management are critical to ensuring that services are delivered with the required level of quality while minimizing the risk of disruption to the business. By implementing these processes, organizations can ensure that incidents and problems are resolved quickly and effectively, and that the underlying causes are addressed to prevent recurrence. Event management and request fulfillment are two additional key processes within the service operations stage of the ITIL service lifecycle. Event management is the process of monitoring all events that occur within the IT infrastructure and analyzing them to determine if any action is needed. Events are defined as any detectable occurrence that has significance for the management of the IT infrastructure or the delivery of IT services. The primary goal of event management is to detect events and respond to them quickly to minimize the impact on the business. The event management process includes steps such as event detection, detecting events through monitoring tools or other sources of information, event logging, logging the details of the event, including the severity and impact, event categorization and prioritization, categorizing and prioritizing the event based on its severity and impact, event categorization and prioritization, categorizing and prioritizing the event based on its severity and impact. Event investigation and diagnosis, investigating and diagnosing the event to determine its cause and potential impact, event resolution and recovery, resolving the event and restoring normal service operations. Request fulfillment is the process of handling requests for services, information, or access to IT resources. Requests are typically initiated by users through a self-service portal or a service desk. The primary goal of request fulfillment is to provide users with the requested services or information in a timely and efficient manner. The request fulfillment process includes steps as request logging, logging the details of the request, including the type of request and the user who initiated it, request categorization and prioritization, categorizing and prioritizing the request based on its type and urgency. Request fulfillment, fulfilling the request by providing the requested service or information. Request closure, closing the request and updating the service management system with the details of the request and its resolution. Effective event management and request fulfillment are critical to ensuring that services are delivered with the required level of quality while meeting the needs of the business and its users. By implementing these processes, organizations can ensure that events are detected and responded to quickly, and that requests are fulfilled in a timely and efficient manner. Thank you for watching us.